The topics discussed in this show may be triggering or harmful for some listeners. We tackle topics of suicide, self-harm, violence, child abuse, and death. Our hope is that even if you aren't able to listen to the whole story, that you can join us for the first 15 to 30 minutes where we catch up and gossip about our lives and the world. We will be intentional on marking where triggering information may be, as well as having timestamps in our episode descriptions for those topics. Thank you.
Start the recording. Oh my god.
Hello. Welcome to the Best Friend's Guide to Money and Murder. I'm Claire. That would be Caroline.
It's me.
I was going to try and see if you wanted to introduce yourself today.
I really dislike it when you do, because there's always a, how's Caroline doing? By the, it's me that we hear.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh goodness. I got a new computer.
Wow.
And a whole new setup, really. Sorry if you hear clicking. I got myself a wireless mouse.
Wow.
I feel like an adult.
You are.
Especially because this is the first computer I've got myself with my own monies.
Love that.
So I have had it for 10 minutes.
Don't break it.
Haha.
I'm here on a new mic, so hopefully everyone that has had issues with my audio can hear me better.
Yep. Hear you better. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think it should be really nice.
Yeah, we just learned that AirPods weren't it.
Yeah, I really thought they were, because one of my coworkers sounds incredible when she uses hers.
Good for her.
But it was not the setup for me. So I've had two things I've been literally waiting to tell you till we were recording.
I'm so excited. I can't even handle it.
So the last one happened the night after we finished recording. So literally within like 10 hours of us turning off the podcast recording. Wee early hours of Monday morning. About 4 in the morning.
Oh gosh.
Here we go. I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom.
As one does.
Go to the bathroom. Close the bathroom door because I turned the light on and our bathroom fan turns on. And I don't want to wake up Taylor. Go into the bathroom. Done. Wash my hands, all that jazz. Go to leave the bathroom. And I can't get out.
Claire.
Caroline, I got locked in my bathroom.
Claire.
It hasn't happened since.
How'd you get out?
I was apparently banging loud enough. Taylor shouted from bed, Claire, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm fucking locked in the bathroom. And he was like, what? And I'm like, I am locked in.
Immediate panic.
Eventually, Taylor was able to get the door open from the outside.
Wow, we love a strong man.
It was not happening from the inside. I was fully prepared to just finish sleeping in the bathroom for the night.
You could have broken down the door. Do you know how to break down the door?
I love that you think I do know how to do that.
What, you got to kick it. You got to use your big, strong woman muscles, right?
Yeah.
And you kick it by the door handle.
Oh, is that it?
Well, I'm pretty sure, because that's where it's really like more vulnerable. With enough force, it can break the lock.
Wow.
The more you know.
You learn something new every day.
You could fact check that, but
I'm not going to.
I love that. Good. Blind faith. It'll lead into what we're doing. What's your other story, Claire?
So we've been needing some new furniture in the apartment.
Okay.
And I was on Facebook and I saw advertisements for an estate sale.
I love estate sales.
I've never been to one, so I was like, I want to go.
You've never been to one?
Still kind of haven't.
Claire, I'm going to take you to one.
Good. I text Taylor, I was like, do you want to go? And he was like, yeah. So we go, and as we're getting closer to the church where it's at, we keep seeing signs for the living estate sale.
That makes me feel comfy.
Yeah.
And sad. Well, yeah, estate sales usually happen when people are fucking dead. So
Yeah.
a living one.
So living one. And I was like, so we parked and I was like, Taylor, are we just going to a church garage sale? And he was like, I think we are. We ended up finding the 2 pieces of furniture that we needed.
Yay.
It was a good time. They were nice. They took Venmo.
Hey, I love when estate sales do that.
That's iconic.
It's my favorite thing. I've been to a couple and it's so useful. Claire, we just have to get into this story because when I tell you I went down the deepest rabbit hole I've ever gone on, I am not lying.
You sent me Snapchats at both 9 in the morning and 9 at night from the same location saying I'm still researching.
Sorry about my dog. I cannot tell you how much research I've done on this. And I'm very excited to tell you all the things that I've been able to figure out.
So, my friend, what are you covering?
Today I'm covering the up and coming TikTok cult. All right, everybody pause for dramatic effect. And I'm sure everyone's wondering what the actual fuck. So for those who aren't aware, TikTok is an app. It was Musical.ly. It reminds people of Vine for us that loved Vine back in the early, like the 10s. And its demographic, even though there's a lot of us older folks on there, is children. It's not meant for children. It shouldn't be for children. It is an app that has a lot of different things on it that is not appropriate.
Yeah, like I literally saw someone memeing about unaliving themselves today.
Yes, and there's just a lot of sexual stuff. There's just so many things that are not appropriate for small children. Anywho, some content is family friendly. You can find content that is, but it's not easily accessible if you're just going on the For You page. Let's dive in. That's TikTok. It's important to know that while we get into it. So, Caroline, what's a cult? Why is there a cult on TikTok? What do you even mean? Well, my friends, we need to start at the beginning. As just me as a person, when I tell you I went down a rabbit hole, like Claire had said, I basically spent all day yesterday researching this. Now, I will be mentioning my sources, but throughout the story, I'm going to tell about some different TikTok accounts that have provided a lot of really good information on this stuff. So I'm going to be using a lot of sources, especially in regards to what a cult is. So there's Penn Today, which has an educational website about news, and there's something called learnreligions.com. Rolling Stone did something on stuff. Obviously Wikipedia. There's a site called arcgis.com, and they talk about cults. A website called All That's Interesting, apa.org are some of the resources, most of the resources that I have, and then different people on TikTok. So what is a cult? Just honestly, buckle up. I hope you have something to drink and maybe a snack because you're going to fucking need it.
I'm ready.
Also, as a disclaimer for everybody, I know we usually put disclaimers in our description, but this is a very new thing, and different cults have been around for a while, and it can be a very sensitive topic, and it can be scary, and it can affect, this affects a lot of people. Like cults in general just affect a lot of people. And so I hope I do not seem insensitive or anything like that. I am going to report facts I know about this, and my personal opinions, but do your own research for sure. This is what I've just been able to come with in a full day of looking. So what is a cult? Dictionary definition: a system of religious veneration and devotion directed toward a particular figure or object. A relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister, such as a network of Satan worshiping cults. My favorite: a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. Cults are generally considered to be new charismatic groups that expose religious doctrine that differs from mainstream beliefs. That's the biggest thing. They are different from the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
They target the outcasts. They're viewed as outcasts, and they view themselves as such too. There is common characteristics such as members' adherence to a consensual belief system, the maintenance of a high degree of social cohesion, strong behavioral morals that they consider moral, things like that. How do you get into a cult? Because that's always the question.
Yeah.
Why do these like individuals end up in these circumstances?
I like to picture like an activities fair where they all have different booths and you can be like, come join us.
I love that, and I wish that was a thing.
Cults, are you listening?
I sure hope not. Now, something that I love is that one of the podcasts that I truly love is My Favorite Murder. And they coined the phrase, "You're in a cult, call your dad." And I might say that a couple times today. And it's true. They're so funny. And Karen grew up around that time that cults were, or like at least used to be a thing. And so she was I just really love them. So how do you get into a cult? There are many ways, levels, types of manipulation that are used by cult leaders to gain members. I was reading, and there's this thing called the BITE model, so that the group is to control these 4 things: behavior, intellect, thought, and emotions. Then there's this influence continuum, which states a person free from influence has an authentic self, capable of critical thinking, free will, and creativity. But on the other scope of that is an individual with a false identity whose actions are motivated by fear, guilt, and obedience. There are usually 4 dimensions that are seen across all cults. A charismatic leader, i.e., good old Charlie Manson. A transcendent belief system, systems of control, and systems of influence. Cults are designed to target the most vulnerable populations. Those include people who are questioning their religious faith, wanting to be part of a group, who have mental illness, have lack of confidence, need fulfillment in something, have a high level of stress, and really, for leaders themselves, they are mostly diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, or they show tendencies of NPD. Cults seem to offer comfort and relief to those that they serve. Mental state plays an important role in both people who join and the lead of a cult. So you're like, okay, well, like, I am questioning my faith, or I have lots of mental illness, but I don't want to join a cult. That's amazing. I'm happy for you. Relatable. Proud of you. But those who feel, let's just play a scenario here. And we'll continue with scenarios, I think maybe, on we go. Say you're a person who has no family support system. You literally have nobody around you. And then a group pops up that shares the same values you do. Promises that they are going to be that community, continue with these resources. They have a common goal that they want to achieve, like, I don't know, saving the world, saving the dolphins from dying or something like that. That's a really weird example, but like a common goal. I want to, and it can start very basic. We want to help the planet for our children in the future. That very basic tenement of this is what we want. You're like, oh yeah, I like that. That sounds nice. And then, you're by yourself. You have nobody around you, no support systems. You blah, 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 blah. People come in, surround you, and show you love you haven't had in so long or ever. You're going to join the fucking cult. Like, you just are. You're going to try it out at least. What's the difference between a cult and religion? Isn't religion just considered a cult then? No, my sweet, sweet friends. A cult is applied to a social movement. Cult, it denotes a social group with social deviant beliefs and practices. In the mid-19th century, so the 1970s, like I would say the 1940s-ish to the 1970s-ish, We really see how there was an economic desperation, which led to new religious movements. And that's where we see all of these cults forming. Now we get into a little bit more. What is a commune? Because in this TikTok that I'll go into, they claim to be a commune. A commune is a group of people living together, sharing possessions and responsibilities. I haven't been able to do a lot of research on communes themselves, but it sounds like that's like really the basic level of it. It's not that deep like a cult. They really do have just their group of people living together communally on a space, sharing their resources. Oh, okay. So here we go. You're probably wondering, Caroline, what led you to, instead of Jonestown, do this shit? Well, I'm gonna fucking tell you.
How dare you take the words right out of my mouth?
Thank you. Piece of shit. So I was talking to Eric about what I want to talk about. And then I opened TikTok, and the first video to pop up was a video of people making fun of the saying drink the Kool-Aid, and they were drinking a jug of something with Kool-Aid label on it. And then this woman, who I'm going to talk about a lot, her name is Book of Edith, was like, you fuckers. And it was just amazing. And I was like, I have to now talk about this.
Well, so you sent me maybe 7 videos yesterday morning being like, I think I'm pivoting what I'm talking about.
I did.
And I had seen one of them, kind of looked into it at one point, but I was like, I do not have the emotional capacity to figure out why this guy is sitting next to some chickens.
Oh, I'm going to fucking tell you. No, and I felt the same way too, because I was like, I don't have fucking time for this. People say it's a cult, but like, whatever, like I'm over it. Like I got more important things to focus on. But then I saw them making fun of Jonestown, and I was like, oh no, that's not good.
No.
So here's what we need to keep in mind. We obviously need to keep in mind a sense of unbiasedness and making our decisions based off of facts and not of our feelings and opinions. I'm going to share all this information, like I've shared about what cults are like. I'm going to share the information about this thing. You are able to make your own decision. I have my own opinion, and I will share it. Again, that it's a cult. So the TikTok cult is labeled as a commune. They have posted their address on TikTok, their full address.
That just makes me anxious, just posting where you live on the internet.
Okay, that makes me anxious, honey. Button your butt, because it's so much. Okay, we just gotta get into it. So, okay, some hashtags they use in case people are wanting to look at this up is literally their address. And then commune, intentional community, hippie, spiritual awakening, homesteading, off-grid, eco-village, and cults. There are different members that post on TikTok. There's Rel Gums on @RockNRel Music. There's Tree. Tree is Alive is the handle. There's Eco-Village or Revolution. His name is Carl. There's Julia 2K God, her name is Julia. There's Emil and Britt, which are a couple that live on this commune. And those were the main ones I found originally. And I'll go into a few more that I think live there. But here we go. So here's what I know in terms of who they are and what they do. To join their commune, you can come visit, you can come tour, you could even have a 10-day visitation pass.
Road trip?
Jesus Christ, hold on. No. Once you're there for 10 days, you can request to stay and be a member of their community, which they call an intentional community. And they go to council because they have council meetings every Wednesdays and Sundays. And you can request to be part of their community. They have an open door policy. These are all quotes stuff. They share all structures on the land. If someone is there for longer than 2 weeks, they can ask someone who's been there less than 2 weeks to leave. They just have to notify the other members. They have said that everyone is welcome so long as positive work ethic and family-friendly environments are maintained. They claim this to be an egalitarian community.
What does that mean?
So basically, that means like everything is equal, relating to or believing in the principle that all people are equal and deserve equal rights and opportunities. So they have to come to an 100% vote on things. Other people who talk about this cult are Thomas Edison hate page. I love her so much. And Book of Edith, who I little mentioned. They say they have no leader, so they can't be a cult, and I'm going to repeat that later. They have their structure is they have a library, which is free books for free people.
I want that on a t-shirt.
Okay. They have a kitchen, an office building, a woman's cabin, a schoolhouse for homeschooling. They have a watchtower.
Oh,
Amongst a couple, they have a bunch of, they call it bus row. They have a couple old school buses that they use, and there's a couple other things. Let's start with some of the members and who they are. Okay, so we'll go with the one who doesn't post as much. She doesn't post as much. So we go into Julia. Julia's first TikTok is dated May 27th, 2019. And it's just goofy. She's just a goofy goober. Until May 28th, 2020, where we see the first TikTok shown with Tree, and it's just like a weird fucking video. It's like they're on drugs or something. That sounds insensitive, but that's the only way I can describe it. On January 8th, 21 is the first video she shows on the Commune.
okay.
It's the first mention of it. And she's duetting with these people I mentioned earlier, Emil and Britt, because Emil had written a song. And she talks about how that family of 5, Emil and Britt, were living on a bus and moved to the Commune. And she's met them because she stayed on the Commune for a couple days and really liked their stuff.
Wait, did you say Emil and Britt were a family of 5, as in 3 children?
Oh, baby, am I going to get into it?
Okay.
This is not even. Anyway, so 2-2, she says that she's back in the van, back in Tennessee at the Commune. 2-3, she says that there's 14 other people living there. She shows us the land. They're preparing for springtime. She says, hey, we're just a big group of friends who play board games and have fun and build bonfires and play music, like really chill. So she's just vibing. She really is just hanging out. She's very carefree. This does seem like a very hippie thing on the surface. Let's talk about Rel. Her name is Ariel Gumpson. She goes by Rel.
Is this rock and roll?
Yes, it is. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Rel's first video on TikTok is on January 6, 21. So 2 months ago. And her first 7 videos are just of her singing on her banjo. Harmless.
A mood.
On 1/7, so literally a day, she's in one day she's posted at least 7 to 8 videos.
Okay.
And on this video, she says, the future is here. We are the revolution. Come join the People's Project. Come join us as we change the world as we know it, as we grow, we build, and we live sustainably together in harmony. Please play your part.
The hell?
On 125, she said the title of the video, across her screen, is How to Join a Commune. She says, just go. Leave Babylon. Join the revolution. We're making a better future for our children. Our mission is to create sustainable farms across the country.
Ma'am?
It gets worse. On 125, there's also a comment saying she's racist, and so she makes a video about it. She says, the person calling one, quote unquote, she literally does the quote unquote fingers, white, is being racist against white people.
So that's not how that works.
It's not even the way. You can't own dreadlocks. This is what is wrong with the world. People think that their culture owns certain parts of human. Like, this is disturbing and I am disgusted. Unquote.
So,
on 126, she posts, people have all these excuses of why they can't leave Babylon. Comment in video. Not everyone is ready. People are different and on their own time. Rel says, we don't have time. Letter saying, Jesus is right here with me, to another comment. What's your question?
I was just going to provide a little bit of clarity.
Sure, yeah, please do.
This woman is white and does wear dreadlocks. Just a point of clarity for those who have not seen her videos.
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes I'm like,
yeah,
it's been a whole 24 hours. Let me tell you, I cannot tell you the whirlwind I have been on. As a Jesus-loving person, I did a lot of like, I love Jesus. Like, I love people. Like, believe what you want. I'm here to say that I love Jesus. I love you guys. This is fucked up. To the point I can't accept it. And here's why. On 126, she says, we don't use a money system. The land has been paid off.
Who paid it off?
Oh, I'll get there. I will get there. They only have $80 a year in land tax. They have a well for drinking water and a backup spring. They have a wood-fired oven and stoves. They have solar power to charge their devices. They have an Amish water heater and shower, and they have some gardens. 128, she's like, goes into another rant. And this is a quote. I wrote down every single word she said, or most every word she said. She says, so when did people start seeing white and black, not European and Irish and Ethiopian and African? Last time I checked, my skin ain't white. My skin is peachy pink, and these people are calling black are brown. So what's up with this? Why is there so much racism in the world that people are generalizing people into two different categories of black and white? This is where the problem exists. So I'm not racist. I don't think I believe in race. This is life. This ain't no fucking race.
I can't even unpack that.
We'll unpack it later. On 128, she says the revolution is here and it starts with food.
Okay.
We need to stop the food industry. Claire.
Oh, tell me why.
Okay, because we need to keep the farms. We need to get rid of boxy neighborhoods, support each other, grow food together, make a better world for our children. The food is literally killing your body and brain. Also on 128, she uses a hashtag of end the race war, amongst other hashtags, saying, we don't look at people and see their color or lifestyle or gender. We just see people, and we need as many hands on deck as possible to help this revolution. We love and accept all humans. Has also used the hashtag alien invasion on one of her videos. Now I want to take a pause. I realize I'm talking fast, but I'm very excited and stressed out, and here's why. So when we hear of the end the race war as a hashtag, and then we also hear of just like this non-conformity to like just the generalization of we need to stop the food industry. Who does this remind you of, Claire? This reminds me of Charles Manson.
I was going to say Mr. Charles.
Not to be dramatic, but Manson literally tried to start a race war by killing Sharon Tate and all the other victims that they killed. He said that, this is a quote, that black people, because he doesn't know how to fucking say shit, were going to take over, but he was going to be their leader because he's the best guy. Like, he's the white man. Really.
Yeah.
And also, if we go on the tangent of not seeing color, like, how fucking dare you? You're erasing a whole community of people, all different communities of people who have experienced significant racism, significant slavery, just the story of so many people who have died because of what they look like, and only because of what they look like, because you don't see race. Fuck you. Anyway, okay, sorry. Okay. Not kind, but there we go. So, all right. So
she's not kind, so
she's not kind. You're right. You're right.
You can be not kind back.
I can. Okay. So she says you can just show up to the garden. 2-1, she says, do you like sad songs? Do you like happy tunes? Do you like puppets? Do you like ventriloquists? Do you like organic farming? Do you like sustainability? Well, then come to the garden.
Puppets?
Yeah, she has a couple videos of her being a ventriloquist with her puppet.
I need therapy just from hearing that sentence.
Me too. And here's why. Also, because you hear these generalized statements, you go down, and let's do this out of context. Do you like sad songs? I like sad songs. Do you like sad songs?
I didn't really have an emo phase, but I dabble.
You dabble. Do you dabble in happy songs?
Absolutely.
Do you like puppet? No, we don't fucking like
No,
puppets.
no.
No, fuck that. You lost me there. But do you like...
You could find other selling points. Puppets, not your strongest one.
No, do you like gardening? Do you like to farm? Do you like the idea of farming?
Sure. We're Kansans.
Do you like the concept? I
Yeah.
like the concept. I'm going to start a garden in my garden. Yeah, a garden in my garden. I'm going to start a garden in my backyard. Do you like the thought of us making a more sustainable things to make our planet last longer?
Of course I do.
Sure, then join this fucking cult.
I'll pass. Thanks, though.
Okay, there you go. Well, that is how...
They lost me at the puppets.
They lost me at the puppets, too. But that's the thing. They're like, this is what we do. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Just keeping that in mind. 2, 3, she shows her Field of Dreams garden.
Oh, God.
Their Field of Dreams garden. A fenced-in garden. There's a greenhouse. They have so bus row is 3 converted school buses, a chicken coop, an orchard, and outdoor kitchen.
Fun.
Okay, so 2, 3. She has the caption of, "We need you," in all caps is the "you" with an exclamation point. She says, "There's so much separation in the world, so much hate. Where is the love, guys? We are starting a revolution." 2, 4, titled, "Is this culty?" She uses the hashtags cult, hashtag commune, hashtag intentional community, hashtag revolutionary change. Has a filter on her face where it makes her eyes look like character blue. And it's dark. It's like at night, she's by a fire. And she's like, "No, we're just disturbing. We're just growing food. We're not culty." It's very creepy. And I feel like she's memeing on people, but also I'm concerned for her well-being. On 2-4, she also says, "The garden is not necessarily where people live. It's a place where people come as part of a mission, which is to create sustainability and organic farms where people learn how to live off the grid and with nature. We travel and network together. We are trying to buy land and give free to the people." 2-4, she has a few videos on how this isn't a cult, not a cult, just a little culty, is what her quote unquote.
Just a smidge. Just a dash.
She shows us the women's bunker, which is 1 bed for her, and then there's a bunk bed. And that's the women's cabin. Bunker. 2-6, she says, "Babylon is crumbling, and we have the answers." They have the answers, Claire. "And we can teach you how to live sustainably." Now, you hear me talk about Babylon, right? And you're like,
"What is Babylon?"
"Bitch, what the fuck?" Well, so Babylon comes from the Bible. If we want to really dissect this, Babylon comes from the Bible. Now, when they're referencing Babylon, so the Book of Edith, TikTok has mentioned that this is appropriating Rastafarianism. Have I been able to look up what that is? No, I have not, but I want to be respectful of different cultures there.
Rastafarian's Jamaican.
So Babylon was an ancient city in Mesopotamia. But according to the Commune, the Babylon is society. So leave society. Let's switch the word of Babylon to society. Leave society and join the revolution. A cult, it denotes a social group with social deviant behaviors and practices. They, are applied to a social movement. Social movement. Leave society and join the revolution. What is a revolution? A movement. I am just saying, and we're going to continue to keep going. So in the garden, she says that they have to keep a productive pace. If you're not following this, you're voted to leave. It's like fucking Survivor. But Survivor, I feel like, is cooler.
Honestly, it kind of seems like it. When you said the well, like water well, that made me think of Survivor. Editing Claire here. Caroline's going to talk about some animal cruelty in 3, 2, 1.
213. I told you I have timelines. 213. She shows the skin shirt she made out of her dead fucking dog.
What?
She shows us the skirt she had made out of her dog who was hit by a car, Claire.
I thought you said skin shirt. It doesn't make it better, but a skirt by far is worse.
Yes, it is. Anything is worse. It was her fucking golden retriever. I'm so sorry that's triggering, but
Caroline.
I had to see it. And so now you have to hear it. I'm so sorry. I love you so much. You know what? This is a really great time to mention that there's going to be other scary things in here. There's another mention of animal abuse that I'm going to mention about a cat. So I'm going to mention that in a little bit, but just prepare yourselves.
Here's your warning, Caroline. You can't just drop that in.
I'm so sorry. I had to get it out. So she shows us that. Okay, perfect. So also on 213, we'll get back to that in a second, don't you worry. She says, we don't have a leader, so we're not a cult. We're a 501c3 called the People's Project. I'll get into them, don't you worry. She said, nobody owns the land. The earth owns everything.
That's not true.
Nope, sure not true. On 222, this is the video I was talking about. She has a jug of red juice or something is what I wrote down, but we find out what it is. Labeled Kool-Aid, titled "It's Time" with two exclamation points. And then they were like, it's not a cult. On 222, she promotes their tribal revival. Now, mind you, I will go into other people in this cult, but there are mostly, it looks like the majority of people are white. I don't know anything, a lot of other stuff about a lot of other people, but you could consider tribal to be offensive, and I just feel like it could be. Anyway, which is April 16th through the 30th.
Oh, so coming up.
They're wanting to show sustainable living. They're gonna have workshops and music on their land.
All right.
On 224, she says that they don't allow drugs or liquor. She's like, the Kool-Aid was homemade blueberry wine. So if you don't allow drugs or alcohol or liquor, then what's the blueberry wine? On 225, she's like, I have seen Jesus.
Oh, have you?
On the surface level, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Right? Like, again, taking out of context, good for you. I'd love to see Jesus.
I'm not a religious person, so I'm not going to say like good for you,
sure.
But I'll take your word for it.
Sure. Okay, but she says she's seen Jesus in a mirror. And this is where we don't relate. She says, I've seen Jesus in the mirror, not a man or a woman, not black or white, just Jesus. In another instance, she was at picking up trash at a festival.
Good for her.
And she saw Jesus in the mud. She saw Jesus as a piece of trash, as a pendant in the mud.
Okay.
So she interviews one of her members, asking, what's the worst thing about Babylon? So society. And this member says, is that you're still there. Come on down. On 3-2, she reads the mission statement. It's long.
Do you have highlights?
I wrote a lot of it down. It says to provide land to individuals, families, and travelers to learn, teach, and experiment in a variety of sustainable and self-sufficient skills, to be a place where those who want to help others and themselves prosper through profit sharing, to encourage and assist in the application of these ideals, to establish a network of those like-minded communities across the country and beyond, be way stations and hubs of learning, to be family-friendly and a positive work ethic, to be inclusive and fair and efficient as possible while keeping a productive pace, while holding ourselves to a high standard for setting a good example. On 3-3, she titles of these are all TikToks also, just to remind everybody, these are all TikToks. They're 60 seconds long. She says, the title is Generation Z is so afraid, with an exclamation point.
I don't know about that. They'll come kick our asses.
She said, commenting on how Gen Z is like, don't go, this is a cult, like, you should be afraid. She's like, saying these are the same people. She's basically saying these are the same people who have only been on their TV and their cell phone watching documentaries about Charlie Manson, cult, and Jim Jones and all that junk. Then there is the old hippies from the 60s and 70s that are coming up saying, no, guys, it's just the hippie commune. It's just funny. A younger generation has no idea. Just come. There's nothing to be afraid of.
There's a lot to be afraid of.
So let's dissect that, shall we?
Let's.
The two things I just said. So their mission statement. Again, taken out of context, fine. That mission statement still makes me concerned. Also, too long. If we're talking about mission statements, she's too long.
From a marketing standpoint, not it.
Not it, fam. So here's where we get into it. Gen Z
should not be giving marketing advice to these people.
Absolutely not. Well, who me? A social worker? Never. So when she tells us Gen Z is so afraid, she's trying to alienate a whole group of people. Truly.
Yeah.
And she's trying to, okay, so this is my perception again. She might not have any ill intentions, but what I get from this is she's saying, just come and see. Prove to me that you are not afraid. Nothing to be afraid of. They have no idea. She's basically saying that they're stupid and they're like been brainwashed by being on their phone all the time. On 3.3, she comments on how she's usually anti-internet and social media because it separates people, but that somehow TikTok is doing the opposite and bringing people together. She titles this "Not a Cult," smiley face. On 3.4, it's nighttime and there's more Kool-Aid, saying "Not again" and hashtag "Drink the Kool-Aid."
Jesus.
On 3.5, she titles "Drink the Kool-Aid is not a bad joke," saying she didn't know it was related to a mass murder because she didn't know that there was a mass murder.
She's mentioned Jim Jones.
Exactly. She mentions Jim Jones on 3.3, literally 2 days before she comes out with this other video saying that she had no idea. She says that what she's referencing is Ken Kesey's electric Kool-Aid acid test. And then saying, like, it's not a fucking bad joke, so, like, leave me alone.
No, when you're making jokes about not being a cult, talking about Jim Jones, and then saying, time to drink the Kool-Aid, you are very aware of what's going on.
And I don't think the Kool-Aid acid test thing is it's not a good thing. I don't think it's good. Ushered in a new era of new journalism.
Oh, that's usually never good.
Okay. And the electric Kool-Aid acid test is in 1968. This is from Wikipedia. Nonfiction book by Tom Wolfe. The book is a popular example of the new journalism literary style. Wolfe presents a firsthand account of the experiences of Ken Kesey and his band of merry pranksters who traveled across the U.S. in a colorfully painted school bus, the Further, whose name was painted on the destination sign indicating the general ethos of the pranksters. Kesey and pranksters became famous for their use of psychedelic drugs such as LSD in order to achieve expansion of their consciousness. The book chronicles the acid tests, parties with LSD-laced Kool-Aid, encounters with notable figures of the times, Hell's Angels, Grateful Dead, Allen Ginsberg, and describes Kesey's exile to Mexico and his arrests.
All right.
So, okay, let's talk about that. So if you say that you don't know about Jim Jones, even though we see two days ago video proof that you do, even if you're mentioning this Ken Kesey's thing instead, you are still mentioning something that is not good to joke about.
Lacing people with LSD, not great.
Merry pranksters plus LSD makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, for some reason, it feels like maybe like frat guys being like, yeah, we're just pranksters.
I get the frat star vibe too. Okay, so again, another mention of not animal abuse, but animal death. She claims that she has her own religion. So rel is in her name and then religion. She wants to honor dead animals in every way possible. She finds a raccoon who has been like roadkill, basically. She shows the dead raccoon, by the way. I'm not going to show you that video.
Thank
and then
you.
She burns the bones for her garden. 1 week ago, she says, to all the haters who hate on me for wearing my dog, I wear my dog proudly.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
5 days ago, so 6 now, she said, it's sad people have time to hate. On 3/20, she says the garden is not a place to live. It's an agricultural project. If you want to be part of something huge, come join. Do you want me to move on to different members, or do you want me to continue with her Facebook posts?
I think I need a break from Rel.
Okay, we'll go to Tree.
I have been wanting to know more about Tree.
Okay, I'll tell you about Tree. So I was able to find his real name, but I'm going to continue to call him Tree because that's what he's on TikTok as. But I know his real name. Anyway, his first video, again, notice this trend, was January 27th, 21.
Okay.
He is, from what I understand, Julia's boyfriend or partner in some aspect. He is not from America. He is from somewhere on like Ireland or something like that. From my understanding, he's on a visa. His first video says he wants to end climate change. He says their solution to end climate change, and that's to join a fucking commune. On 2/2 of this year, he said, asked everybody, like asked different people. So he asked everyone if they're in a cult. And they're like, no. A lot of his videos are about what they do on the commune, showing the different places, different things. I call him like the face of the commune.
Really?
He's
Is he the ginger?
He's the ginger.
Okay.
Yes.
His video was the one I saw on my For You page.
Yes, you probably would see his most because I think he posts a lot. Most of his videos are about just some of the members, but also about what they do on the commune, things like that. He asked about what they think about capitalism. One girl says that it needs more love, and just Rel says, I don't think about it. On 2/26, he also mentions the tribal revival, saying that they're an egalitarian community. We're going to connect and spend time on the land. He addressed a TikTok comment on 3/1 of, is it LGBTQ and POC friendly? And he said, everyone is welcome as long as it's family friendly and a positive work ethic. He says, our mission is simple. In another video, be self-sustainable and be stewards of the earth. They have, so Julia and Tree have a YouTube channel.
Wow.
And they posted on 3/19 saying a cult would have an ideology and a leader, a manipulative leader. Communes, which they see a lot in Europe, are just like more whatever. They said, we're nice people and others are being mean. The message, we're just trying to spread the message. We need to live more sustainable. Thinks climate change is affecting this world. We don't have enough time for them to just do it. And we need everybody. Seeing a lot of support in their comments. Tree was saying how he has a lot of panic attacks now and his anxiety is through the roof. The earth is being explored and we need to save the world. There's also, you might see mentions of his other YouTube channel.
Oh.
Which has 180 subs and 6 videos. The first one being one called Margaret Knows, But Do You? And it appears that he is on some straight acid or something. He is so high of a kite and it's kind of a disturbing video. Would not recommend.
Thumbs down?
I would thumbs down. Other members are Emil and Britt. They are, again, two husband and wife, or just like partners who moved with their children to the commune around the time that COVID started. Their Facebook post, he talks about like during the revolution, post that being out of Tennessee, capitalism hates freedom, the two cannot coexist. Rel, her Facebook posts are incredible. It cannot. She says the whole medical field is a joke. Doctors are criminals and drug dealers. And another time she had mentioned, she had a poem TikTok where she said how they're selling out drugs like candy. She posted, if you need a therapist, what you really need is better friends.
Nope. I need to talk about that for a second. If you feel like you need a therapist, you need a therapist. Your friends are not your therapist and cannot be responsible for your mental health.
You should not be a therapist for your friends, and your friend should not be your therapist.
T.
Anyway,
let's see what else Rel has to say on Facebook.
Sure. Democracy is a control system.
Of course.
Democrats won. Now it's back to pathetic Americans depending on their government for everything. She's not voting because she doesn't believe in power, because no one rules over her. Not nobody, not ever. But also earlier in another post earlier, she says Mars retrograde has been really interesting. I'm ruled by Mars, so this energy is normal to me.
Okay, so she won't accept any kind of government leadership, but
Mars.
she'll be Mars.
I get it. Okay. In September, she says that Trump not only will win the next election, but he will also change our entire government so that he has never to leave office. Guaranteed. Just watch.
And there it is.
So there's something else I have to mention.
Okay, what we got? What's her?
The sustainable abuse I was talking about.
Okay.
You ready?
No, but I don't have a choice.
So they have chickens. The chickens are fine, but kind of. There was a cat.
Okay.
And it was eating their chickens. So they shot the cat. That's not even.
Okay, keep going.
I'm going to say this really fast. They shot the cat. They skinned the cat. Rel has made a hat out of the cat fur, and they ate the cat.
Okay, so
this can't fucking be true. It is clear on a TikTok. Someone, okay, who was it? Who was it? On at Metal Monroe on 2/9, they show that he commented no cats because they kill. Then he commented on how they ate the cat who killed their chickens, and he literally had 3 emojis with the 2 hearts on it next to we ate the cat.
And when you told me about the skirt, I thought there was going to be a worse item of clothing you could say. And then you said hat.
Claire.
Did you see the hat?
Claire, I saw the hat. She posted it on her Facebook. You can look up on 11/30/2020.
I'm not going to look it up.
Claire, I have it saved. In my phone, Claire. Yeah.
Oh no.
On 11/23/2020, she says, making a cat hat.
No. Can we exit out of this? They
go on Facebook Live. Anyway, Tree has done a lot of Facebook Lives. Okay, so people calling these fuckers out. Book of Edith, she's a queen. Thomas Edison hate page, also queen, who has been getting a lot of hate for bringing all this up. I feel bad for her. There was someone called @Del_eat_me, whose mom was in a cult and asked her all these things, and basically she's like, this is sus because this feels like a cult. There was another @cult member who's been talking a lot about, she's not actually like a cult member, she's been talking about cults and how awful they are and how this is a cult. She's amazing. She mentions the Rainbow Family.
The Rainbow Family?
Claire, I'm sorry this is so long, but there's so many different twists and turns. The Rainbow Family was formed around 1970 to 1972.
Okay.
They were, their founder wrote, "Where have all the flower children gone?" Okay. There was this event called the Vortex 1 event in 1972 in Strawberry Lake, Colorado. They're notorious for being terrible. They're against outsiders. Outsiders are Babylon, which is she's the one who mentions that Babylon is the appropriation. There's this creation myth that rainbow warriors are going to come back and make the earth green again.
I'm going to need you to do a whole episode about this because,
Okay, you're right. I'm going to need to. Now, another thing that cult maker is her handle, which is better. She mentions that they're around, where this commune is located is around sundown towns. Do you know what sundown towns are?
No.
They are.
Oh, wait, no. Yeah.
They're places, for people who don't know, they're places that are unsafe for people of color after dark.
Yes.
Okay, so what if you're a disabled person? Well, you first have to join the commune and then request accommodations.
And it's a farm. It is land with some buses on it.
Yeah. They're a registered 501c3, which is like I think it's considered a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit.
Yeah, and that's the People's Project, okay? They could federally background check anyone who comes onto their land, but they don't. Now, when you hear the People's Project, you're like, oh, that sounds fine. But then we think about Jonestown and how his church was called the People's Temple, Claire.
But she doesn't know Jonestown.
But she's not the leader.
She's not?
She is not the leader, Claire. When I tell you I have 20 pages, Claire, I have 20 pages. So we're going to keep going. Okay, so let's discuss.
Yes.
Rainbow family gathering people, right?
Yeah.
We'll work on figuring more about them. Did not have time because of all this research. The People's Project is an extension of that. They come from that. This is the mothership of what I call it. That's what my own term. Mothership, baby ship. People's Project. Okay? People's Project, their hub is the garden.
Oh.
The garden is the commune.
Icky.
Okay. A little bit more about the Rainbow Gathering is it appealed to addicts and people without anywhere to stay.
Yeah. I was going to mention that at the top, that like, that's another appeal is people that don't have the resources are getting, a place to stay and meals.
Uh-huh. Some other notable things is that there's a member named Cornbread Ed. Book of Edith mentions that, oh, good old Cornbread Ed, his name is Edward. He has 11 charges on the Macon County District Court, the most recent being on November 30th, 2020. It's an open case for domestic assault and disorderly conduct, and he has a $5,000 bond and 2 warrants.
Oh.
That's someone living on this place. Another thing about this is if you look at their Facebook, a lot of their promotional material has children in it.
Icky.
Now they homeschool children. They have a schoolhouse. But what they do is something called unschooling. Are you familiar with what unschooling is?
No.
Unschooling is learning through natural life experiences. So they don't teach anything.
That's not how learning works.
Exactly. Rel posted a video on March 12th of this year of a book, a kid's book about America that she made.
Oh no. Oh God.
Like that. It's painful as you would think it is for someone who's as racist as she is.
Yes.
So if you don't know what unschooling is, like look it up, but basically it's learning through natural life experiences. So basically they don't, I'd like to see their lesson plans because I don't think they exist.
No.
So you learn all this and we're trying to make this into one part. And you're like, okay, so they say there's no leader, whatever. Another person came out saying, I was on this commune for 3 weeks and I have shit to say. And this sweet baby, his name is Quentin, he has a speech impediment, which is important to note just because he gets made fun of for it at the commune.
I'll fight him.
Literally it's hands on sight. I would actually not get a fight with anybody, but I'll protect this little baby. He's like as old as we are. But he said he was at the garden for 3 weeks. And the first thing Rel said to him was that she supports genocide as a form of population control. Now, she also posted it on Facebook in a comment that I have a screenshot of saying the same thing. So this is a factual thing that she posted. Other things that Quentin claims that they're huge COVID deniers. And when Quentin was there, he was like basically going against their COVID denials. And so they basically started manipulating him, everybody else to get him out of there. So he left. So who's the leader, Caroline? Well, I'll fucking tell you. Patrick Martian is what I call his last name.
Okay.
We'll just say Martian. He purchased the land in 2009 for $52,500. He is a sole owner of the property.
Of course he is.
He only pays $80 a year in taxes on the property. His Facebook I found. He posts on 2/20 anarchism. And this isn't a picture. I call it like a Trump supporter picture. Like they have a pic, like it's like an American flag and then it's got words on it, shit like that.
Yeah.
Anarchism, not a romantic fable, but the hard-headed realization based on 5,000 years of experience that we cannot entrust the management of our lives to kings, priests, politicians, generals, and community commissioners. Once you've discovered anarchism, you cannot unsee the state for what it is. A fine-tooth system of slavery, anarchy is not a solution, not a system, not a club, etc. It is a natural order of human life, consensual, voluntary relationships among humans without the greatest problem in all history, the hallucination, the dystopian idea that some humans should have the right to violently control their fellow man.
Violently?
Yes.
That's a very descriptive adjective.
On 2/17, he has a Facebook post that requests people send him times that the government worked against the U.S. people or large groups of people in the U.S. There was 162 comments. On 12/30/20, he said, everything is going to change very fast now. Find your tribe and look out for each other. There was 123 likes, 50 comments, and 9 shares. He posts on 12/14 about ego versus ecological and pyramid versus circle thinking. I tried to creep on his Facebook, and the only education he says that he has is from the Jedi Academy.
Just for a little...
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm not going to talk about it. I have something else to say.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can do whatever you want.
For a little, palate cleanser for a second. The only reason why I still have my Facebook is I found a Facebook group called Disapproving Corgis, and it's just either pictures of corgis that don't look so disapproving or corgis that are very disapproving of actions.
I need that. Will you send it to me?
Yeah.
Also, fuck you, Jedi Academy. I literally have a rebel tattoo. Like, fuck you, dude. Literally, I have Princess Leia on my arm. I'm very scared of this man. Anyway, Quentin says that that Patrick is the leader. He confirms that Patrick is the leader.
Does he live on the land?
Patrick?
Yeah.
Yes. And I've seen him in some of the TikToks. Anyway. So he says there's also 2 other co-founders. But this is what he said, she said, stories will come out. We'll have to keep researching, but it's been said that he is abusive, violent, creepy, and manipulative. He told Quentin, so Patrick told Quentin, the guy that's telling all of us all this stuff, that he was a pedophile, that Quentin was a pedophile because he was going against what Patrick had to say. He has been described as someone who has a God complex.
Very descriptive adjective again.
And again said Patrick is a very dangerous individual. I don't have any evidence to prove anything, but this is what this person had said. And I'm putting it out there as a video that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this person at all. Can't say anything. Just reporting the facts and the figures. Okay, so let's talk about COVID. Let's talk about COVID in this group. So you remember when Vanessa Hudgens said,
yeah.
I guess people are gonna die. We were rooting for you, Vanessa Hudgens. We were rooting for you.
We really were.
But in a live TikTok thing, Tree is asked about how they feel about COVID, and he said that I guess it sucks, whatever is going on. I just guess that people are dying all the time. All the things he mentions, cancer and heart disease, are funded by capitalism and the government.
All right.
There's also this really small tangent of people, and I have not done enough research to know this, but some people are saying that there is stories about people going there and losing contact with families and friends. I don't know. I wanted to mention it. I don't know. I wanted to share. Another person on the group, I thought about mentioning their name, but I'm not going to because whatever. It was a member who joined the People's Project in 2018. And guess who was at the fucking Capitol insurrection?
Oh, I was going to ask if Patrick was at the insurrection.
No, I don't know about Patrick. I don't know. But another member was. Not only do we have this commune, but we also now have ties to QAnon, which I will be covering at some point because it's important. You're like, okay, so COVID. Okay, cool. These people suck. Well, Rel also has something to say about COVID too. And she says that She says on 2/23/20 that she's never had a virus because she's built different. On July 17th of 2020, she said she posted about not believing in the pandemic. She also said, yeah, I'm okay with it. People need to die. Mass genocides are necessary. She also posts like there was pictures of like her saying that the masks were just like whatever. Royal claims that masks are mind control devices and the virus is engineered. So what now? What's happening now?
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying like, okay, so Emil and Britt
Yeah.
are no longer living on the commune. The Book of Edith, TikTok lady, I think her name is Edith. I'm going to go with it. She's been in communication with them. They went on a live together and they are like I don't know. I again don't have enough information, but basically they realize they are no longer safe where they were and they're moving on. There's a person named Commune Cowboy that again is that propaganda of the world is crazy, but in the commune, I have no bills, I have a rich community and feeling pure joy. Someone named at TJRA444 says that there was a comment asked and answered that was like, do you accept all political beliefs? And Tree says yes, with his infamous smiley face with 2 hearts. This TikTok handle mentions how dangerous that is for people of color and LGBTQ. Can you imagine living on a commune or in any space where everyone's political beliefs are accepted? Like Trump supporters.
Yeah.
That's unsafe. This is dangerous for people of color.
Yeah.
Okay, so what now? Right.
Yeah. What
So
now?
it looks like Tree and Julia are still on on the land. Now, my most recent notes are from like they had posted just a couple days ago.
And let's make note because we haven't yet. We are recording this on Sunday, March 21st.
It looks like Rel continues to post about just stuff on the commune and things like that. So it's going to be probably a developing story. I know that insider.com did a story on them and they've got like a lot of information written down. It sounds like Book of Edith called immigration on Tree.
Wow.
Stating that he is abusing his visa because he is trying to I don't know if the right term is propagate, but like try to convince people to come gather and his mission during a pandemic.
I mean, it's really hard to say as someone that's like gone through visa processes for other countries, but depending on the and I haven't ever gotten one for, of course, the US, but they can be very specific.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I studied abroad, I had to have a visa and the company I was with was like, yeah, we hate that we can't pay you guys, but based on your visa that you're on, we can't. So
yeah, so not sure there, but I just know that that happened or is currently happening. She had there was some talk about like March 8th of this year was when I'm going down, so I'm not really sure. They're going to have that festival on April 16th. I'm not going to. They've obviously blasted their address everywhere, but I'm not gonna say it because it could be dangerous.
Other than it's just in Tennessee near other sundown towns.
Like I said, they claim they're a 501c3, the People's Project, which is helping people help people, which is their thing. They're a solution-based movement, a bus caravan to different communities and cities, building a network of people, helping people, etc. What's next it also is that like don't fucking go there.
No.
If we look at some of their now they claim they don't have like a belief system, etc., but I just feel like that's untrue. There was a cult called Buddha Field, and their leader kept his followers focused on healthy living. No drugs, no alcohol, caffeine, or red meat, along with mandatory exercises, abstaining from sex, and meditating frequently. There was a commune that played a larger role in the hippie movement was Cauliflower, a utopian living cooperative that existed in San Francisco from between 1967 and 73, built on the values of free love and anti-capitalism. So like they have anti-capitalistic beliefs, this commune, But are we moving into the cult's thought of like all this abstinence of different things, and then also the different beliefs of systems of they're starting a revolution?
Yeah.
People have come out and said, I was born on a commune. This is not how they advertise. My friends are on communes, and you have to be there for at least 6 months before you are allowed to join.
I think moral of the story is if you're listening to this and these ideas sound appealing to you, why don't you just like Instagram message us? We'll sing you songs and play board games with you. We won't get puppets. We won't have those.
I will sing you whatever sad song you want to hear, baby.
And I will sing whatever happy song you want. And we'll do it at the same time.
It'll be great. And the reason I bring up this story and why I was so adamant about covering it as my last couple of thoughts is this is on a platform that is aimed at and target audience is younger children. And when we think about what cults do and things like that, and as them posting their address is such a fucking red flag, they're promoting children. There's children in their videos, in their pictures. They say that it's a welcoming place for all people. And if you're a child who has a very squishy, sponge-like multiple brain, brains are squishy. Yeah, they're multiple, so they're squishy. Just growing brains. This can sound like paradise, and it's not. And if you're considering this and you're just a little youngster, please reach out to someone, an adult that you trust. Or if you feel like you can't go to an adult, we are adults and you can talk to us.
Yes.
And we can talk to you about it. But there are other places to find value, to find love, and to find a sense of community that is what I would believe would be safer.
Yes.
And in the wise words of, I hope one day my BFF, Karen, and Georgia, you're in a cult, call your dad.
Yeah. Wow, bud. I have chills.
10 hours.
10 hours.
Of notes taking. My wrist hurts today.
Oh.
I'm getting old.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll jump into it now.
Are you such a fucking downer all the time?
No, it's really good. Let me pull my notes up. So I have a shorter story. We did not plan this. It just happened to be the one I had ready.
Good for you. Good for us.
And I'm telling the story of another art theft today.
I love art theft.
This one's fun.
Yay.
So I am telling you the story of the painting of two laughing boys with a mug of beer.
Oh my God. Can we tag ourselves? Which one am I?
I think you're the one with the fun hat, and I'm the one with the rosy cheeks.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
I'm losing the words for it, but how
okay.
the Nazis took all the art and burned it. So they do touch on that in this article, so if you want to learn more about that. It was painted by Frans Hals in 1626. Frans is Dutch. And this painting is a part of a series that he did that depicts the five senses. And this was supposed to be kind of also a representation of greed and gluttony, because it's two guys looking into a mug of beer. One of them has a fun hat, like I said. So in terms of its size, it's 27 inches by 22 inches. So it's roughly a 2 foot by 2 foot painting. And experts estimate its value to be around $18 million. So an expensive painting.
A lot of money. Wow.
So the painting is housed at, it's a museum in Leerdam, Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to try and pronounce it, but it's going to be wrong and I don't care.
Okay.
That sounds wrong. But so it is housed at the Hof van Meerval van Arden.
Nice.
I really did try there.
Good job.
And that painting has been at the museum for the past 248 years, or at least most of those years. Dun dun.
Suspense.
So like I alluded to earlier, when it wasn't at the museum, the painting had been on loan at other museums, and it had to be hidden during World War II when the Nazis invaded the Netherlands and when it was stolen. Dun dun. So in 1985, a masked man forced a window open of the woman's home that was near the museum's courtyard. The intruder tied up the wife of the museum's facility manager, and he had the manager switch off the alarm. So the manager's son, who is now the secretary of Leerderdam's Historical Society, said that his dad opened the museum under gunpoint. However, his daddy-o was able to press a secondary alarm that summoned the police, so, like, good for him. But by the time police had gotten there, the thefts had gotten away with 2 laughing boys and the painting Forest View with Flowering Elderberry by Jacob Salmons van Restdale. So 3 years later, in 1991, the 2 paintings were returned to the museum after over a $250,000 ransom was paid by the Dutch authorities and insurance companies. This was arranged by the bodyguard of Klaus Brunsma, who came forward with the painting after Klaus had been shot and killed. Klaus had come into the painting via a drug debt of the person that stole the painting. So to pay off that debt, he gave him the painting.
Okay.
And the police were able to arrest and convict the thief after the girlfriend of the thief, who was also the getaway driver, came forward. Okay, so you may be thinking, cool story, Claire, right?
Cool story, Claire.
Really fucking short. Why do we care?
Why do we care?
You care because this was only the first time this painting was stolen. Dun dun.
Dun dun. Oh my goodness. What?
Yeah, so it was stolen again.
Good.
In 2011, 2 laughing boys and Forest View with Flowering Elderberries were stolen again from the same museum. So just a mere 20-some years later.
Get your shit together.
Seriously. So at 3 a.m., witnesses saw a dark Mercedes or BMW driving away from the museum with dimmed headlights, and the police found the frame for 2 laughing boys in a hedge near the museum. The thieves were thinking that they could claim the reward for stealing the painting and then return them. The police were put in contact with the 4 thieves as they were trying to negotiate a price for the painting's return, and they were asking nearly $2 million for it to be returned. Undercover police posed as insurance representatives of the museum and were able to arrest all 4 of them. So the one true thief was never identified, but the fee was going to be split between all of them. So once again, the painting was hung back on the museum walls after 6 months. The police declined to say what security improvements were made after the thefts.
Okay.
But the museum has alarms and motion sensors, and the collection had been moved and is only open 2 afternoons a week, and the painting can only be seen with a guide.
Nice.
Yes, so very secure.
Now.
And I saw one quote saying that they have good security for a small town art museum, but not one that houses world-class paintings. And that's all the tea and all the shade.
Wow.
Yeah. So this brings us to last year. On August 27th, 2020, 2 laughing boys with a mug of beer was stolen for a 3rd and, as of now, final time. This painting's been stolen 3 times, Caroline.
I mean, come on.
Just a little fun fact for you. This theft was just 3 days before the 354th anniversary of Frans Hals' death. And at around 3:30 a.m., there's a video of 2 people on scooters by the museum. One of the theories of the heist is that the thieves scaled a gate in the back garden before getting to a door that they wanted to enter through. And then they broke into the museum by breaking open that back door. This did set off an alarm, but by the time the police got there, the thieves had gotten away with the painting. The police were met with an orange rope tied to a flagpole that thieves may have used to climb down a 10-foot brick wall to escape. So they tied it onto a rope and scaled down. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my goodness. That's such spy shit.
It really is. This time, Two Laughing Boys was the only painting stolen, and soon after the two people on the scooter arrived, they left, one of them holding what looked to be a very large object. So they just came up with their scooter, got the painting, and got out.
Oh, good.
So the museum was shut down this time due to the pandemic. However, they have hung a replica of the painting on the wall because the people taking care of the museum found the hole in the wall very painful, which is precious. Mm-hmm. And this is actually the second time a painting was stolen during the pandemic, from a Dutch museum during the pandemic. And the other painting was a Vincent van Gogh painting, and it was on Van Gogh's 167th birthday. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. I mean, is it a really cool painting?
I didn't look up which one. I saw it, but I mean, it's a Van Gogh, so it's cute. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
The Two Laughing Boys was stolen on nearly the anniversary of Frans' death.
Wow.
So it's ironic that a painting about greed and gluttony has been taken 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And the mayor of Leerdam said, I felt horrible when I heard the painting was stolen. The last 2 times it came back, and I think we really can get it back again. I guess that's kind of the can-do spirit.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you felt horrible, bud?
Did you, bud?
Did ya? To end on one final quote, an alderman, which is an elected official, her name's Krista Hendrickson, and she is responsible for the culture in the town of Leerdam, said, quote, it's really that painting for some reason, and I don't know why. I don't have an answer for it.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's the story of how Two Laughing Boys with a mug of beer really is that painting.
Up right now.
Yeah, sorry it's such a short story.
Dude, it's like I type in Two Laughing and it immediately comes up.
Yeah.
That's a creepy ass fucking picture. Sorry. It's nice.
An $18 million painting.
That's amazing. Good for you.
I just thought it was I was looking up art thieves and they were this one's been stolen 3 times. I was I have to learn more. And then when I tried to learn more, there wasn't
more to learn.
There wasn't a whole lot more, but I still thought it was interesting enough to tell a little tale about it.
I love the little tale. It was what else do we need to tell you? It was stolen 3 times.
Yeah.
That's all we got. Oh my goodness.
And it was some spy level shit this time, and
with rope.
With rope.
I hear just the Mission Impossible things on.
Yeah.
Playing in my head.
She has not been returned this time, which is kind of sad.
It's kind of sad. It was a good break from the good old My Story.
Yeah.
Little
little not culty.
Little treat.
Yeah. They just really just broke it wasn't anything high fancy. They literally just busted in and yeeted it off the walls and ran off every time.
It's those damn picture hangers, man. 2 screws.
2 screws. And a command strip.
And a command strip. And it's just simmered down to 2 screws and a command strip, really and truly.
Well, you can find us online. Probably put more care into that sentence. You can go to our website at tinyurl.com/bfguidemm, Our social medias are linked there. You can contact us there. And episodes are there.
We love you all. Please don't join a cult. We can get you connected with different resources that could be helpful for you instead of a cult.
And if you're curious about if it is a cult, let us know and we'll do some vetting for you.
Also, if you're wondering if it's a cult, it probably is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm just saying, if you have to like question on if it is, do not join it. Just be good.
Be safe and wear a mask.
Wear a mask.